premier said that she wasn't going to search the landfill because it was too dangerous, and it would also cost about like $200 million. I forget the estimation.
$200 million to search a landfill.
It was, well, because they grabbed the garbage and they put it in a big hill of trash. So, and they said that they might not even find anything, and they just said it was like too dangerous and too costly. So,
and this person who convicted of murder, they're in jail?
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's not unlike politicians to capitalize on, you know, just whatever is happening in the moment. Obviously, the missing and murdered Indigenous women issue has been ongoing for a few decades, if not potentially a century, but like we've already discussed in this class, it's important to pay attention to what politicians say and also what they do, right? So now that this gentleman is in office, I think his name is Wap Kinew.
Yeah.
We'll see how quickly he starts the process of conducting this search and, you know, finding out more information, bringing more justice to the situation. But that is a topic that might have been relevant to many people who live in Manitoba, many of the voters there. That are we going to elect a politician who's going to care more about our issues as well? Yeah, the last one is maybe something we haven't discussed as much about, that, you know, people in Canada who grew up here have the privilege of not having to think much about the voting process. So, you know, where I come from in Pakistan, you know, not everyone's allowed to vote. There are many countries where, let's say, women may not be able to participate in government. I'll just tell you a quick story about in Pakistan. So a woman named Benazir Bhutto was elected at some point. I don't know the exact position. Over the last few years, I did do some research and learn. So her father was a politician, and, you know, maybe he created some bad blood in the country. But when this woman was elected, I mean, she was shot the same day. So they murdered her in the streets. You know, I don't know if the killer was brought to justice, because some places, you know, they don't even have a rule of law, right? They don't even have a proper justice system, let alone, you know, this amazing thing called democracy, where everyone does have an opportunity to speak. Some of the access barriers, so knowing when, where, and how to vote. You know, some people don't understand that, maybe don't have a good idea of what their mail is. Voter ID issues, again, you need to sign up to vote. Accessibility, language literacy. You know, if someone just recently migrated, or let's say they are now a citizen but haven't been here long enough to really be proficient in English, they might not know how to access this information. So there are going to be many challenges to that. Profile of a young voter, high level of political knowledge. I don't know who they polled that with. They must have had a bunch of yous there, right? Believes that voting is a civic duty. I'm not really sure that most students leave high school with that mindset. I think most aren't interested in politics. I imagine most of them are trying to figure out, like, what do I do now?
Yeah.
Many probably feeling rushed into university or college by the parents. I think very few people discuss politics. I think a lot of people get told about politics, maybe at home or wherever. Has anyone here been contacted by a candidate?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So, during the Alberta election, I was called like 3 or 4 times for the Alberta NDP and then the Alberta Conservatives. They were like, "It is now your time to go out and vote," and it was an automated message, and it was just like trying to like get people to go out and vote. And they were like, if you have any mobility issues or can't get to the polls, please call this number now. And then they would like obviously like try and send someone out or something. But yeah.
And you were like what, 11, 12?
I was like 13, yeah.
13. Okay. Nice. The only real likely point, let's be honest, is that you've been influenced by family, friends, or maybe teachers, right? Whatever you're learning in school. Okay, and that's that.